For doing the board foot equations assignment, you're going to be using these two equations here. Read the directions here, calculate the board feet for questions 1 through 4, and write the correct answer in the blank. Partial credit will be given, so make sure you show your work. The biggest difference in these two equations is that one of them has the length listed in inches, and we divide it by 144. One has the length listed in feet, and so we only divide by 12. So on number 1 here, to figure out my board feet, I would go 14 inches times 56 inches times 1 inch thick and divide by 144. Down here on this next one, when the board feet, when it's listed in feet, I would do 4.5 inches times 1 inch times 7, but I'm going to divide by 12 because the length is listed in inches. When we get down to here, these are more story problems. We've got to start adding this 1/4 inch thickness to the material because this is all solid wood. So we're planning on all of this to be solid wood. None of this is particle board, chipboard, MDF, any of those engineered products. This is all solid wood. So when we see in number 1, the piece of walnut is 1/2 inch thick, 6 inches wide, and 24 foot long. Even though I know that my piece of walnut is a 1/2 inch thick, I need to add a 1/4 inch thick to a 1/4 inch to the thickness, because when I bought it at the lumber yard, I had to buy it at 3/4 and paid them to mill it down to a 1/2 inch. Most of the time that's going to be with 3/4 inch material. So like number 2 is 3/4 of an inch thick. So it would actually be 1 inch thick when I use the equation. Show your work. So write in the formula here that you're going to use it. So on this first one, I would say a piece of walnut that's a 1/2 inch thick, I would write down the equation. Remember, 3/4 times 6 times 24 divided by 12 equals, and then circle the answer that you want to turn in for credit. All those are kind of the same. Keep in mind sometimes we have different quantities in here, so read the question carefully. Then lastly, you're going to be doing this board foot lab. So on the whiteboard, see if you can see it, there are 3 pieces of wood over there, right underneath the flag. And those pieces of wood all have a number on it. So there's sample 1, 2, and 3. I know that those are not all solid wood, but let's pretend that they are. I just didn't want to waste that much wood for a demonstration video or for a lab. So sample 1, you're going to grab a tape measure out of the tool cabinet or use a ruler or whatever you can find. Measure the length of it, the width of it, and the thickness of it. You're going to round everything to the nearest 1/4 inch. And after everything's been rounded to the nearest 1/4 inch, then you are